Welcome everyone to the Pirate Caribbean Hunt, a semi-open world, free-to-play pirates adventure game which also includes a multiplayer aspect. You play as the captain of your very own sloop, one of the smallest class of ships in the game. As you'll need to pay for your shot, gunpowder, and wages of your ever-expanding crew, you must both collect supplies in dangerous waters and attack merchant ships sailing through the Caribbean. There are also building and crafting features in this game. Early on, you are tasked with dealing with a rival captain, and after defeating him, you gain control of his pirate hideout. On this island then, you can invest coin, and through certain building lines, build certain buildings that can give you resources in return, such as the blacksmith that will give you round shot, or the farm that will give you cotton that you can then sell for profit. This is a nice addition, as it's just another way that you can spend all those coins you've been collecting and invest them into something other than your ship. It also involves a bit of thinking ahead, as you'll want to plan out what you want to purchase first in a building chain to eventually get to a certain building that you want to get. Once you've collected your treasure, you then must find one of the few ports that you can sell these materials, optimizing which one you want to go to as to sell whatever you're trying to sell for the maximum price. You can also purchase most of the items in the game from these many ports, as well as repairing your ship. One of the possible controversial things about this game is the fact that you have to buy your cannonballs, your chain shots, all individually and separately. You don't just have automatic shots that you can use, you have to purchase each one at a time. Although some people may call this an annoying feature, I think it's actually a great feature, because what it means is you have to be even more careful with all those shots, as that volley you might send and completely miss the ship, that might cost you 10 coins. That's a lot of money in the game. It makes you more wary of missing shots, and each shot counts as something. It has more of an impact. Combat in this game has a certain ruggedness to it. I can't really put my finger on it. Maybe the lack of accurate or full control of your vessel lends more to realism aspect of the game. The changing wind direction and speed also lends to a more chaotic battle sequences. However, you as the captain will be controlling the ship as best as you can and selecting the ammunition types to be fired into the enemy vessels. Shooting is simple enough, but there's also an auto-fire mechanic that you can choose if you don't want to be in control of the cannons at all times. As a captain, it is your responsibility to see the day through to victory, however. In this particular case, I forgot to load up on cannon shot before the battle. I had to make a quick getaway before the enemy ship could pounce on that mistake. Taking out many vessels will leave you as the captain with skill points that you can then put into 3 categories. Military will improve the destructive force of your vessel, sailing will improve how your vessel handles and how quickly it can be repaired, and financial will improve the cost and efficiency of your buildings on your pirate island. You can change these at any times, so it's good to experiment with what you're doing, such as if you're going to go out to battle, put them on military. If you're going to buy some things on your island, put them on financial. You can change them at any time, so use that to your advantage. For being a free-to-play game, this game can look downright amazing at times when you have it on the highest settings. Running a GTX 980, the storms and water especially look stunning at times, which only add to the atmosphere that these battles create. But it only serves to show how bad the rest of the game looks in comparison to the weather and the water, almost as if they decided to only make those look nice and not the rest of the game, which looks muddy and PlayStation 2 era-like. There are many different class of ships and many variations of those classes, which lends itself to being a long-term project to purchase one of the best ships in the game. You can also purchase more than one vessel and add them to your ever-growing fleet that will then assist you in the many battles ahead. We've talked about the good so far, but now it's time to talk about the bad. The map itself, so far at least, isn't that big, and as a result of it, there aren't that many different activities to do at any one time. You have a couple scavenging missions, maybe a couple missions you have to go take out other ships, and that's it. 3 maximum. Being a free-to-play game in this day and age, there are microtransactions, and these in-game transactions are a constant sore to look at, and very early on in the game, they're even pushed on you a little bit. However, for the most part, they are unnecessary and really only prove to break the progression system that's in the game that, in my mind, is not the greatest, but is doable. It's a doable progression system you don't have to spend real money on. Spending the real money just breaks any progression that you might have gained so far. I would personally just stay away from microtransactions in this game. In my mind, they're not worth it. So that is the Pirates Caribbean Hunt, guys. Certainly a game I think you guys should look at. It is a game that is still in development, so it will have some quirks here and there, some bad parts here and there, but it is, after all, free to play, so there is no harm in trying it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next one.